Hey everybody, don't forget to check out my bookie sportsbook and casino, America's most trusted sportsbook in 2019. You can look at betting lines and place bets in bare knuckle and MMA. Don't forget to use our referral code down below for a 50% sign up bonus. That's my bookie sportsbook and casino. The boss man himself. What's up, man?
Hey, hey.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Hey, we're just doing our thing, man.
So you got that beautiful hat on, Nick.
You like that hat? I know a guy. I can hook you up.
I want one of them.
All right, all right. Well, Mr. Feldman, we're only about 9 days away, man, from a huge card. Tampa, Florida, Gonzaga versus Bigfoot Silva. I tell you what, man, we're pumped. We're excited. I can't wait. Then you already announced the card for November. We'll talk about that too. I guess let's start real quick, man. How did the signings for Bigfoot and Gonzaga come to be? How did you get hooked up with them?
I mean, as you know, I'm looking for guys that always have a little bit of a name that like to bang, and Silva's one of them. He actually reached out to us, and we were able to get that done very easily. And then I was saying, well, who do I put him in with? Who do I put him in with that makes sense? And I went through a list of guys, and I came out with Gonzaga, and he worked. He turned it down at first, to be honest with you. He just said, I'm not sure if this is for me. And then he called me back the next day, and he was in. I mean, these are two guys that, yes, Silva got knocked out in a couple of his fights, but if you watched him, he didn't really get destroyed. He got his legs destroyed. He got hit with a couple of body shots in one. And he did get knocked out before, but he doesn't get knocked out regularly, but like devastatingly knocked out. And Gonzaga, he's a beast. This is really, if those guys do what we want bare knuckle fighters to do and toe that line and stand in the middle of that ring and bang it out, I mean, it's going to be like a tree falling, timber. Somebody's going down, and it's going to be awesome. I really, truly can't wait. This whole card, but especially the main and co-main, as a fan, forget being a part of the company. As a fan, I can't wait to watch those two fights.
Speaking of people standing and banging, the co-main event. I don't even know. I try to call them in my mind to figure out who will win. There's no calling it. That one has to just happen.
I mean,
oof.
Well, Jim Allers is one of the two guys that actually, Reggie Barnett did it in the first fight, that really took advantage of toeing the line and jumping off that line with Leonard Garcia. As soon as the referee said enough, well, bang, he jumped off and he cracked him. And, what I always said is we designed that, and I said whoever takes advantage of that wins, because whoever, gets the first shot in, a good shot in, usually is going to control the tempo of the fight and then come out victorious. And he did, man. He looked sensational. I mean, this jiu-jitsu guy, Jim Allers, is now the bare knuckle beast. 2 fights, not even 2 minutes long, just devastating. He's devastating guy. And what a nice guy he is, too. We actually went down there and visited him. We did a little piece with him. Just a good dude. But what I said is, in Julian Lane, he got knocked out by Leonard Garcia, who Jim Allers knocked out. But you can't do that in fighting. This guy knocked that guy out, so this guy's going to do that.
Yeah, fight map doesn't work.
And stuff. No. Yeah, they both got caught and stuff happens. And what I did see in Julia's mental makeup right now is that he's very dedicated right now, and he's fighting for something. He's like, he's got to support it. He doesn't have a job. This is his job. His job is to fight. His job is to beat people up if he can, and that's his job. And he's getting paid to do that. And he knows that if he wins, I just signed a 3-fight deal with him. If he wins, what's going to happen in the future? Same thing I'm going to do with Jim Allers. If he wins, the next fight is very, very lucrative for him. So these guys are going to really go in there and give it them all, give it their all and really bang it out. I mean, who knows, really? Who knows? I have no idea. I do know, and I say this, and it sounds cliche, but the fans win on this one again. This is a great matchup.
Well, we were talking about this. I mean, probably bring it up at least once a week where we talk about that fight. And again, this is probably cliche too, and I sound like a broken record, but we don't know who's going to win. I say this. This is what I say. We know what Jim Allers is going to do. He's going to go in and try to knock his head off, okay? But on the flip side, Julian Lane's going to press forward too. He presses the action and comes forward. The one thing that we haven't seen is Jim Allers. We haven't seen him tested yet. We haven't seen him really get hurt. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen them, we don't know what's going to happen. What if Julian Lane makes it out of the first round? I don't know. What if, what if Julian Lane imposes some damage on him and puts, Jim Ellers in a tight spot? I don't know. What if Jim Ellers just
Julian Lane's a tough dude, man, and he could
yeah.
punch. He can punch, but I mean, it's hard to compete with a guy whose confidence is sky high right now. It's hard to compete with that. When you think you can't get beat, that's half the battle right there. And I'd have to say Jim Ellers wins that part of it, but like I said, Julian is fighting for something. Talking to him in these conversations, he's like, man, this is for my family now. This is different. And I'm training. He's in training camp. So, again, it's just a great fight for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It's a great fight for the fans, and I can't wait to watch it.
There's a bunch of fights on there, though. One that really, really, really interests me, especially after seeing them interview, was Reggie Pena and Lorenzo Hunt. Like, they definitely dislike each other. It's not like we're doing it for the cameras. I've talked to Reggie. I've talked to both of them, actually. They really hate each other.
Yep.
And they're really going to try to knock each other's heads off.
Every one of these fights that's really matched is that these guys are coming out. They have something to prove. Reggie Pena is a veteran. He's been around for a while, and he says, this is what I want to do. And Lorenzo Hunt always did bang. He always banged, and he wasn't very good on the ground. And he said, this is unbelievable. Like, this is what I've been waiting for, this opportunity. So, look, a lot of guys talk too. So let's make sure that he's going to back it up, and let's make sure Reggie's going to back it up, and let's see what they're going to do. But we're going to find out in 9-10 days from now. We're going to find out. But I know all these fights are matched very, very evenly. I don't think anyone is really overmatched on this card at all. And so, hopefully we get these fireworks again, because that's what this sport's about, and that's what this company's about.
Is there any updates on? Well, I don't want to talk about that, but is there any updates for titles for the different divisions, like in the future? Like, are we going to see more titles?
I said when we started this that we were going to create champions through the tournament and everything, but I mean, I want to do that with most weight divisions. But now you got a guy like Artem Lobov, you got Jim Allers in there, and you got Leonard Garcia, who got knocked out, but he won a great knockout. You got Julian Lane, you got Jason Knight, you got Tom Shove, you got all these guys that I think I could probably do something with without creating a whole new tournament now, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'd love to. I don't just want to put a crown on this fight coming up on November fight, because I mean, Jason fought his butt off, and a lot of people thought he won, and a lot of people thought Artem won, but he did lose. So I can't really have him come back as an 0-1 in bare knuckle right now and fight for the championship. It just doesn't really make sense for what we're doing. Although he truly deserves it. So we're going to come up with something very, very soon with that, and we're going to start knocking out more of these champions. The problem is we're so new. We're so limited in fighters. We only have about 220 fighters on our roster right now. When we get up to 500 fighters, 1,000 fighters, it's going to be easy. We create these champions, and then we have guys that are lined up that they can defend against. But like Johnny Bedford, for instance, he just won the championship. Who does he defend against? I have some guys that are fighting for the first time with us now that want to fight him, but is that fair? They've never fought bare knuckle before. Former world boxing champion, former one guy that's fighting on this card, Datin Nguyen, wanted it. He's 22-2 or 22-3 or something like that as a professional boxer. But I have to do what's fair for the sport and what's fair for these guys. So, Johnny is actually now I'll find out tomorrow, but I think he's going to move up in weight to 145 for the Biloxi card and fight a legend. So,
and he will. He's the definition of anybody, any weight, anywhere, anytime. I mean, he's real open about that.
Right.
And I did look up the Dat Win, who's fighting Matt Murphy. He's 20-3. His boxing is super legit.
He just knocked out an undefeated guy who's now fighting for the world championship.
Yeah, I watched some of his fights. He's the real deal.
But as we saw, this is not boxing.
Nope.
This is bare knuckle. And it all changes when they get hit with the knuckle. And when they land with the knuckle, not only when they get hit, when they land, it's a little different for them too. So it truly, really is a completely different sport. Like a lot of people that don't really follow it and just hear about it, they go, oh, it's boxing without gloves. It's not. It's different. It's really, truly different. It's a sport of its own. It's on its own island. And we're developing these great champions, these great fighters. I mean, I really like. I just wish I could fast forward to this time next year, because all the plans that I have for next year, and when that evolves, we're going to be like, wow, this is unbelievable what just happened in 2020. So,
But you got to figure since it started to now. I mean, obviously, it's your thing, so you expect, the sky's the limit. But on a business standpoint, you have to be light years ahead of where other businesses are at this time.
yeah,
It started off and just.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. We like, let's leave finance out of it. Just
Right,
completely
of
take
course.
finance out of it for right now. We're probably 3 years ahead of schedule where I thought we would be as far as acceptance from combat sports fans, as far as
Yeah.
notoriety. Like, the media is writing about us all the time. We're everywhere. We're in the same sentence as UFC, as Bellator, as PBC. We're in the same sentence as those guys now. In 15 months in business, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. And it's funny because I put a post up this morning on my Facebook and just thanking everybody that helped me, because I was sitting there this morning and I was like, holy shit, man, 16 months and we're here. And I put the post up. Thank you for everybody that, helped me in this journey and that followed this crazy dream. Because when I said I'm going to make bare knuckle boxing a legitimate sport, and everybody's going to watch it. And everybody, including my closest people that still did support me, were going, yeah, okay, buddy. Okay. And after like the 15th or 16th state, I came home to my son, or I came home to my fiance, and I'm like, yeah, they turned us down again, but I'm going to make it happen. Okay. But it happened, man. And where we are right now, it's really, truly unbelievable. But, we're happy. We're really happy. I mean, this past week has been incredible for the company. A signing of Hector Lombard. And if you want me to talk about it, the rematch of the epic battle, the fight of the year, maybe one of the fights in a decade, maybe one of the best fights that were ever witnessed, really, truly, is coming back. And, they're going to do it again on November 16th. We made that announcement, and that announcement was, we got more traction on that announcement than we did on any other announcement we've ever made so far in the history of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So we're super happy and really looking forward to that fight. I mean, the only thing is, does it live up to last fight? And I say yes.
I feel like the way those guys, their mindset, I think it's going to be a repeat. I think it's going to be another war, and I think it's going to go all 5 rounds. It's just a matter of who's going to get the better of the other.
Yep, for sure, man.
And I will, let me tag on to kind of what you were saying as far as, like, the success of your company. Like, what do you attribute to that, man? Like, what do you attribute to the success of it? Like, this, getting all this steam.
Don't give away secrets.
No, I'm just going to say, it's honestly, it's determination. It's having balls. It's just really having balls. It was having balls and knowing that this was not something, and I don't want to mention their names, but something that saw me doing it and said, let me try that now. It wasn't one of those. It was like, I'm going to make this happen for 10 years.
Right.
10 years, I'm going to make this happen. So I had a lot of time to come up with things that were going to work, and a lot of time to rethink them and say, it's not going to work. It's going to work. It's not going to work. And I think the design of everything we did, it's working. But I took it as far as I could take it right now, myself personally. And that's why I just recently brought in a team. We just hired 8 full-time employees, 8 more full-time employees, like 16 part-time employees. We're really doing it because we saw the sustainability of us, and our team, our partners in this said, look, this is going to happen. Let's do this, and we're backing you in everything that you want to do. And now it's like just such a big relief, because really, truly, although I had a great team behind me that was helping me part-time along the way as much as they could, I was the only full-time employee for 16 months of this company, the only real full-time employee. So we got it as far as I could take it, and now I'm just like, it's like I hit the jackpot, not because we went any further yet, because I can say, hey, my man, you do this and you do that, and I don't have to do it all. And it's unbelievable, because now, as you can see what's happening, I can focus on these big names and these big signings. That's what I can focus on. That's what I'm good at, and that's what's happening right now. It's amazing. It's truly, truly amazing. But, I wouldn't have been there without everybody that really believed in us, man. Like my son, my guy Rob, my investors, my fiance, my family, guys like you who right from the beginning were like, let's jump on this. A couple other reporters that right from the beginning, a lot of other reporters obviously jumped on the bandwagon. But it's amazing. It's really, truly amazing to where we are right now. And when I say it, I'm not saying it in a cocky manner at all, but we didn't even get started yet.
100%, man. 100%. Well,
I'm
speaking of big signings, I'm going to press you just a little bit because you're on here.
Hmm.
Vanderlei Silva, when can we expect him to toe the line?
Vanderlei Silva is not actually signed. The contract is not signed. We're talking. He's got an offer out there, and hopefully we can consummate that deal on when he's here next week in Tampa. But he wants this. He wants to fight Vitor Belfort, and we're seeing what we can do to make that happen. There's some really big names. One I just talked to tonight, I'm not going to mention yet because we don't have the deal done. But guys that are like I say this sometimes to you guys, even like you're going to say, "Oh wow, they got that guy." But I'm even going, "Oh wow!" Like I met a couple of these guys, and I'm sitting at dinner with them, and I'm looking across, and I'm like, "I'm at dinner with this dude right now," and he asked for the dinner, and he wants to fight for me. Like it's unbelievable right now. We're happy. We're humbled, and these names are all going to start coming now. They're all going to start coming because we're gaining acceptance now. We're gaining the acceptance, and we're gaining the sustainability. The people know we're not a one-trick pony. We're not a one-hit wonder. We're not going to flop. We're not just going to go anywhere. Look, who knows if this is around for 10 years or not? We're all going to see, right? We're going to see as it rolls out. But we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
8 shows in, and the steam is building. So that's a indicator of things to come.
What's your loose plans, man, for next year? Just out of curiosity, like how many shows are you thinking about? Or I guess what is the plan for how many shows you want to do next year?
The plan is we're guaranteed doing a minimum of 11 shows, a monthly show starting in February. We would start in January, but I'm actually going to tie the knot in January. So we're going to get married, and then we're going to move on to February and start a monthly series, and then maybe we're going to pop one or two big ones in the middle of that. So I would say anywhere between 11 and 15 shows for 2020, minimum of 11 and maximum of 15, 20 shows. Who knows? I have booking agents from overseas asking us to come over there. They want to buy the show off us, like pay for us to come over there and do the show. So there's just so many things, and it's really truly unbelievable. I keep saying it's unbelievable because I'm the happiest I've ever been right now with this company and the momentum that we're gaining, and to see that look, when a Ken Shamrock wants to come and do a show, a legend like Ken Shamrock wants to come and do a show because you led the way and you did something, and he's doing it, and he did a great show, man. It's amazing that more and more people want to get involved in this sport. So, it's awesome.
I'm just looking at the comments here. You do have a guy, Sean McDonald. He says, "Come to Scotland." So you guys got some fans in Scotland. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, Sean, we'd love to come to Scotland. Hopefully sometime soon. We're definitely going to be. England is in our 2020 plan, so we'll definitely be in the UK.
Awesome. Well, like I said, man, we're pumped, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. I know you're super busy, and I guess real quick pitch here, man. What do you want people to know? What can they expect about the card coming up in just 9 days?
I mean, it's a stacked card from top to bottom, as most of them are. You might not know a lot of the names on there, but you're going to know them. You're going to know these guys. You're going to stand in the middle of the squared circle, and they're going to bang it out. But I mean, you got Bigfoot Gonzaga. I mean, Bigfoot Silva versus Gonzaga. You got Bigfoot Silva. His hands are huge.
Yeah.
His chin is huge.
Lunchbox.
This freak of nature looking human being that is so tough and so strong. And he's fighting Gabriel Gonzaga, man. Another guy that is just unbelievable. This card, you have to really watch this card. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be fireworks from top to bottom in this card. And some surprise announcements during the card. We're going to bring some special guests in. We're going to make some really good announcements during that card for what we're planning in 2020. So make sure you tune in and catch those announcements live. But again, man, thank you guys so much. Thank you for supporting me, not just me, but supporting the company, but really supporting all these fighters who are paving the way for this company right now and really backing us up on what we're doing. And these fighters are tremendous. I really can't tell you that. When I did MMA, half of the fighters, I didn't ever want to even look at them or take their phone call. I like every one of my fighters. They're really all cool guys because I think they're just a little bit of a different breed here. They're a little bit of it, they have something different in them. And I love all these guys, man. They're really great guys. They're helping us get somewhere. We're helping them get somewhere. And as this whole thing culminates, hopefully it's very lucrative for everybody involved.
Well, like I said, we appreciate your time, man. BKFC number 8, Bigfoot Silva versus Gabriel Gonzaga is the main event for that. October 19th, Tampa, Florida, live on pay-per-view. Please go check it out if you can't be there in person. Order the pay-per-view. Mr. Dave Feldman, it was our absolute pleasure. And enjoy the rest of your night. And we will see you next week, sir. Because we're going to be there live.
Appreciate it. Thanks for
Take care,
having me.
Dave.
All right,
Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, this is Sheen Star. I just want to remind you to check out the new CombatInsiders.com new and improved webpage. Only place that has Knucklepedia. They are geared around bare knuckle boxing, MMA, all combat sports. Check them out.